Hey there everyone, happy Monday afternoon to you. I'm King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. I'm sure many of you have already heard the heat. It's on the way. We'll see that late weekend heading into the Mother's Day weekend, so we'll get into that. But we do have to go over these next few days, maybe even a small chance of a storm here as we head later into the afternoon. No big deal with that, and temperatures still pretty comfortable by, well, May standards. We're going to be right around those seasonal averages. And you can see that the skies are going to be a little more puffy in nature. And yes, that is due in part because of just how the atmosphere is going to be set up here. We're going to have those dynamics that will cause for more of those puffy clouds to show up in the sky, and the outside chance, again, maybe a few spotty storms as we go later into this afternoon. That's generally, it looks like, from eastern Kitsap Peninsula on farther to the east here across the west, the rest of western Washington. So let's take a look at some of those puffy clouds. You can see those right now looking alive in Olympia. You can see those moving across the sky, and yes, they are more puffy in nature. You can also see them live in Tacoma right now here into the afternoon. Now, the farther west you go, getting closer to the coast, the moisture is just not going to be there enough for some of those storms to develop, and really we won't have the dynamics for that. So you can see here in Westport, not as many of those clouds in place, but we still have some of them around and more of the clear skies. Looking alive in Everett, kind of a bright look to the sky. Plenty of sunshine out there, and we're trying to warm up here this afternoon. As far as your Bellingham forecast, we're expecting that to be a little more cloudy and up this way, probably going to keep highs in the upper 50s, maybe right around 60 as opposed to getting up near those mid 60s as we go deeper into the afternoon. So let's talk about what's happening as we go later on into the day. We expect to see those temperatures top off more around those low to mid 60s for most of Puget Sound, and numbers are going to start to cool back down into the 40s as we go into the night. Speaking of some of those current temperatures, here they are right there. You can see that most of our numbers are right around the upper 50s, even getting closer to 60 as of about the lunch hour. Now, the skies are featuring some clouds in some spots, and I did mention those thunderstorm chances. Looks like big picture is that area of low pressure that's helping to really drive all of this is down there near the Oregon and California state line. So that's throwing up some moisture our way, and you can see that starting to interact with more of the eastern slopes of the Cascades. Better chances of storms that side of the mountains as opposed to what we're going to see here. But just like last week, we're going to see some of those small chances linger on into the evening and maybe see them linger on into the first part of the night. But that is going to start to scoot on out of here as we go over the next day or so. And then it's really going to be what's happening off to the west that we're going to keep our eyes set upon, because what's going to happen is this big area of low pressure, that trough, is going to start to work its way eastward to a certain degree, but it doesn't come all the way to us here in western Washington. It will just make its way just slightly eastward, and then it will kind of stay right here, and that's going to help to drive up more of the warm air from the south. I know I'm drawing a lot of arrows, but that's what's going to happen here as we go over the next few days. So first, let's talk about what's going to be happening today. You can see some showers kind of here and there, maybe a very, very small chance of a storm later on into the evening, just a few clouds for tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to see some of those clouds around, even a smaller chance of any sort of sprinkle or two around. I think mainly tomorrow is going to be dry. Then we head into Wednesday. Dry day there. Looks like we're going to see plenty of sunshine. We're starting our warm up at that point, and we'll see a lot more of one as we head into Thursday and definitely by your Friday and heading on into the weekend. So that small low area of low pressure that's helping to generate some of the showers and storms today, that eventually starts to fade its way off towards the east. Then we get that big dip in the jet stream that's going to be out over parts of the Pacific and in the Gulf of Alaska, and then that's just going to kind of sit there, and then you can see this big ridge. It's going to be a strong one too of high pressure. That's going to start to make its way overhead here across parts of the Pacific Northwest, and that is going to be the driving force for the big warm-up that we're expecting here starting up this Mother's Day weekend, Saturday and into Sunday. Just check out the high temperatures. They start to climb from the 60s today and tomorrow and Wednesday up into the 70s Thursday and Friday, but the big warm-up is into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday too, looking like it's going to be the warmest day here as we go over the next 7. Maybe Monday gets a little hotter, but here's a look at that. You can see Mother's Day, we're calling for some potential daily record highs, with SeaTac Airport calling for a high of 87, the record at 88. Olympia, 88, the record at 89. Bellingham just shy at 81, record at 85 degrees, and Quileute coming in at 81 for a forecast high on Sunday. 83 is the record back in 2014. So if you have any Mother's Day plans and if they're outside, keep that in mind. Forecast today, though, should be a lot more comfortable. Upper 50s to low 60s. Plenty of sunshine, just a few more clouds farther north, and possibly a better chance of maybe seeing a spotty or a pop-up storm farther to the south here. Linwood up to 62, Monroe hitting 65. We'll see highs in the low to mid 60s farther south across parts of South Sound. And your forecast tonight calls for those mid to upper 40s for lows. Skies fairly clear at times. We're going to see more clouds start to pop in as we head later on into the evening and into early tomorrow morning. And then you can see your 7-day forecast calling for the small chance of a few sprinkles around for tomorrow. The drier forecast to come Wednesday and Thursday, a lot more comfortable at that point before we really start to crank up the heat heading on into the upcoming weekend. Saturday at 83. Could get up to, possibly 87, 88 degrees heading on into your Sunday for Mother's Day. So the warmer weather, it's taken its time, and even when it has arrived, it's kind of come and gone really quickly. Not going to be the case with this warm up, so already kind of get that in your mind if you have any plans here late into the week and into the start of maybe next week too, that it's going to be hot for a little while, and try to stay as cool as possible. Just keep an eye out for the storms today, but otherwise enjoy your Monday afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.